Hello, how are you? Today I would like to show you how the invocation flow works inside the workshop for PHP framework. If you remember, on the last episode we've made a simple application that had a square, and inside that square we had two hello worlds. These are links with a hello world string inside. So how we did it? We have a square class which is a component, and inside that component we have two hello worlds, and these are components too. They extend component. So this is it. We have a square that extends component, and we have a hello world that extends component as well. Inside a hello world component we have a link. Link is not a component, it extends an element node. Element node is a HTML element, any element. This is a link, it can be an image, anything, but this is not a component. So let's go back here, and you can see that we have also link that extends HTML element node. Both component and element node implement the iStringable interface. It is very important because this interface is used by a framework renderer to render the whole tree of components or some other iStringable classes. So how it works? We have a request that goes to command. So we have a command here in an application class that extends command. We have a square action. So how we see that we use this, we invoke this class. We have in a URL command application. It means run a command named application and run its square method. So let's go back here. We have a command application and square. We suffix it with the name action just to prevent unintended public methods to be run from outside. So you have to add this action string to mark that this is accessible from the browser, from the outside of the class. So we end up here just by running this URL. Okay. Inside here we just indicate what kind of component will be a top component. So let's go here, and you can see a command returns a top component which is square. Square has inside two hello worlds that are assigned to the attributes hello world 1 and hello world 2. Let's go back to the source, and we can see that we have hello world 1 and hello world 2. We also have a I didn't mark it on the diagram. We also have a square element node div, but that's okay. And inside the hello worlds we have links. So let's go back to the source, and you can see that inside hello world we've got link, and it's called hello world. Okay, called hello world. So once we return a top component from our command, it will render everything inside that tree. Each of the components is a model view set of a model view controller, model view controller type of thing. Okay, we can say it that way. I can show you how the model view controllers work in a workshop for PHP. We have a component and we have an action. An action can access repository. In our case, we don't access repository right now, so we can skip this arrow. But it can access repository, fetch a model, any model, do some stuff on it, okay, and return a view. And the view is a set of those this tree of components. Okay. So once a command returns a tree of components, it just renders it, and we see it in our browser. But it also can listen to events. If there is an event can be on the level of the command. It can be on any level of the tree. So if we have an event like clicking on a link hello world, it could also be listened by the repository, or actually some other layer. It actually should be a business layer. I would say that, okay, this could be a business layer, the domain logic, and it could access repository to get the data, or we can bind it in something else. We usually do it inside the use case instance. So use case, I would do it like this. If we have an event, we could use a use case, and inside a use case we could use repository to fetch model, and we'll pass it to the domain logic to do some logic. So we can go back to our source, and you can see this inside an application. You can see that we are listening for the event click on a hello world 2. Here we are listening for the event for the hello world 2 click, and actually the event is in here. And then we just delegate, we run a use case square where we do some calculations. Okay, we can do some calculations here. We can also fetch some data from the database, and then we return everything to this component, actually this one. Okay, and the tree renders. So this is how it works. I can show you another diagram that explains how it works. We have a request from the internet, it goes to the command returns a component which is actually a tree of model view components, and the components can listen to the events, and events can be catched by use cases that will deal with the business logic and persistence. Any persistence, like database or NoSQL database, or we can do it in memory, and then everything is displayed. We can also have a use case inside a command, and then we redirect. I can show you an example of this. Let's go to application. You can see that here we have a compute action that will run a use case calculation and then redirect it to the square action here. So this is another use case for this scenario. And this is by and large the way the framework works. Of course, you can access the components below the top component, but I will show you how to do that later. Okay, thank you.